Well, and a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back inside the Pentagon as we get set for yet another first-round matchup here in what is now day 2 of this NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. We've got our 1 versus 8 seed coming up here. Indiana Wesleyan, one of our 4-1 seeds, taking on Antelope Valley. This game will, in the Kramer bracket, kind of help solidify things over there. We'll talk more about the matchups that have finished up here earlier on today in just a little bit. We are excited to get this one underway for you here this afternoon. It will be Indiana Wesleyan in their white uniforms with the red letters and numbers, and it will be Antelope Valley, the Pioneers, in their red uniforms with the black and white letters, numbers, and trim. Indiana Wesleyan will get things started here this afternoon. I'm JJ Hardigan. He's Matt Gross. We're glad that you're able to join us here for what should be a fun day. We've already had 2 games wrapped up in the books, and the good news, Matt, no overtime games yet, so we're on schedule here, kind of unlike yesterday, but things are going well so far. That shot, no good, and we'll have our first free throws of this contest.
Yeah, with any luck, we'll be able to finish games before midnight tonight. I think everybody involved in the tournament would like to see that. Yeah, we're staying relatively on schedule. Indiana Wesleyan here in Antelope Valley. We did a 1A game yesterday, JJ, you and I think the key for Antelope Valley, anytime you're taking on a 1 seed like this, get off to a strong start. We saw Voorhees kind of fall behind a little bit yesterday to Indiana East, and they could never really get back into the ball game after that. So starts are very important here in a tournament game when you're a big underdog like this against a 1 seed.
Yesterday we had a 1 versus 8 matchup, and it went chalk pretty much. Well, actually, every game went chalk yesterday. Yep. It was Indiana University East defeating Voorhees 91-79 in the 1 versus 8 matchup. We're expecting this one to be a little bit closer. Both teams can score. That shot contested. One thing you're going to have to keep an eye on, that Wildcat squad, they are great defensively, especially inside. They have just a little bit more size, a little bit more strength in the interior than the Pioneers will bring today, but Pioneers think they've got a good game plan to match up against that. A little sportsmanship there after getting tripped on the play. Number 14, Jacob Mast, will get the foul, but he was helped up by his opponent there, Jacob Johnson. Nice sign of sportsmanship from these 2 individuals. Wildcats coming in with a 26-7 record on the season. Talk about how they got to this NAIA National Tournament in a moment. Antelope Valley 20-7 on the year, coming all the way from California here to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That shot misses off the backside of the iron.
That was what they wanted it in transition. You could see everybody spreading the floor out to the wings that time once they got the steal inside. They were looking for the 3-point shot from the wing immediately.
Both teams won automatic qualifiers to get to this tournament. Antelope Valley, the California Pacific Conference Tournament champion. This is their first trip to this NAIA Division II National Tournament. So that gets tipped out of bounds. We'll have a foul on the play.
Haven't really seen an opportunity for him to get his hands on the basketball before that. It was Evan Maxwell's first touchdown low. He's a guy that goes for almost 17 points a game for this Wildcat team. They were looking to get it down to him in that first possession, or the last possession rather, when they turned the ball over. They go right back to the block. They're going to turn it over again, though, as he lets it slip right through his fingers.
Still 1-0. It was Miles Nolan Webb who got the foul there. That was his first. 3 team fouls already on the Pioneers, and they're looking for their first points. They are on the offensive attack here now. That drive, nice kick out. 3 on the way is going to be left just short. That'll be tipped twice and kept alive by the Pioneers. Fresh shot clock here with 18 minutes left to go. Another jumper left a little flat, and neither team has hit a shot from the field as of yet.
First 3-point shot by Antelope Valley that time, or by Indiana Wesleyan. Antelope Valley had shot a number of threes. Indiana came back, they couldn't get one to drop, so the cold shooting continues here for these first 3 minutes.
Neither team really taking care of the basketball all that well here so far. A couple turnovers. 3 from the left wing on the way is going to be too strong. That one off the hands that time of Jacob Johnson on the miss. Pioneers will try to get the offense clicking here. Ball's in the right wing right now in the hands of Hayden Hall. He hands it off. That's Miles Nolan Webb. Open shooter again, left corner. The 3, that's good. Jacob Mast, the 6'5" sophomore out of Hillsboro, Oregon, and a transfer out of Pacific University, knocks in the trifecta.
They've really looked for the three here open, which is kind of interesting because, just looking at the stats, compared to some of the teams, they haven't shot nearly as many threes as some of the teams coming into this tournament, but it's been nothing but beyond the arc here early, and I wonder if that's an adjustment, something they really want to try to establish with the size the Wildcats have inside.
Wildcats, after the steal, going in and using that size to their advantage. 5-3 now your score, and back-to-back buckets.
Johnson getting two that time. Big man running the floor in transition. One of the two big posts here for the Wildcats in the starting lineup.
On the drive again, Nolan Webb can't get that one to go. Shot selections have been decent. They're just not quite getting the rhythm down here offensively so far today. It's not as if they're taking poor shots, just not quite finding that angle and range that they need. Nice turnaround there with the left-handed hook shot. Evan Maxwell, the 6'10", 250-pound junior out of Clarks Summit, Pennsylvania.
And if your shots are going to struggle to go down, go inside to the big man and let him go to work. That was a nice, easy hook shot there. He's got a lot of size over the man defending him, and he gets a good look at the basket as another one from beyond the arc rims out for the Pioneers.
Maxwell's a guy that we're going to be keeping an eye on today. He's number 50 in the white uniform, transferred out of Kansas. That's the Jayhawks, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, that's not a Kansas Tech. That's the big Kansas.
He's posted up down low on the left side right now with the basketball in hand, going to work. Little turnaround again, left just short. And it's rebounded by the Pioneers. They're off and running. Ooh, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Miles Nolan Webb, the guard. Maybe lowered his shoulder just a little bit there. The official right on top of it. He'll pick up his second personal, and you got to wonder if he's going to have to go to the sideline for a little bit. Head coach Darwin Cook is going to make his move to the bench for the first time today. And Ezekiel Armstrong, the 5'10 sophomore out of Lancaster, California, will check in.
Yeah, so that's a blow early. Nolan Webb going out. He's the guy that really can facilitate this offense. We've already seen him come up with a steal. He leads the team and by far in assists this year. He's a good facilitator, runs this ball game for him on the offensive side, and they're going to have to play for a while here in this first half without him now.
Ball on the right wing, little head fake and momentary hesitation. Nice drive, though, from the left wing, just couldn't get the finish. That was a good look for Jacob Johnson. Still without any points here as of yet. It's been a little bit of a frustrating first half of action offensively for both teams. Indiana Wesleyan is 3 of 6 from the field at 50%.
That was great ball movement inside by the Pioneers. One way to beat that size advantage of the Wildcats, let that big man commit, and as soon as Ben Carlson came over, that's when the pass went the other way.
7-5 your score right now. Wildcats with the early lead in this one. We'll take a timeout with our first media timeout of the afternoon. We'll be back with more inside the Pentagon right after this. Seven 5 your score as we get back to work here on the hardwood inside Heritage Court. Sanford Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, side of the NAIA Division II Men's Basketball National Championships. And free throws coming up here. That one is good. Davidas Maskaitis out of Lithuania knocked that one in. He goes to the sideline now. Full court press coming from the Pioneers. Wildcats will bring it up, and that goes right off the foot of the big forward, Jacob Johnson. Kind of surprising they were trying to have Johnson handle the basketball there. That one going right off his foot. They do have a lot of size on this team, and as we talked about a little bit yesterday, the evolution of the game of basketball, you're seeing more big men handle the basketball in the backcourt there, and that time just didn't quite work out.
Johnson also does a lot of traditional big man stuff. He's a great shot blocker, leads his team in 28 blocks on the season.
3 from the left wing, that's good. Ezekiel Armstrong, who came off the bench after Miles Nolan Webb picked up his second foul. That's his first points of the tournament.
Whether it's an injury or a foul trouble, it's next man up here. There's no going home and coming back again. If you lose this one, you got to give it everything. Oh, reach that time. Pioneers have done a good job not fouling inside. It's really been Indiana Wesleyan forcing the issue, going down low with their big men in the paint. Pioneers hadn't really fouled them too much before this possession. They've been pretty effective on the defensive side.
Inbound will come on the baseline with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to see who the trigger man is here. His number blocked. Oh, there we go. It'll be number 30, Grant Smith, inbounding it. Kanan Coffey with it at the top of the key now, and the Wildcats will go to work. 15 on the shot clock. They'll back it out around the perimeter. Good defense here right now by the Pioneers, trying to take away the inside. Carlson on the turnaround. That's no good. And here come the Pioneers, up by 2, trying to extend their lead.
Been a lot of work beyond the arc, and you can see just even in the flow of their offense, they haven't really penetrated too much until the last couple of possessions here as they back it back out again. Only 10 on the shot clock.
Look for Sheldon Blackwell to get involved here soon as that one kisses off the glass. The banks are open here in Sioux Falls today. Nice shot there from Ezekiel Armstrong. He's hit back-to-back threes since coming off the bench. Right now, largest lead of the day for the Pioneers. 12-7 your score. Drive inside, nice head fake to get the defense up, and drawing the foul on that one is Kyle Mangus, who will go to the free throw line.
This has been a nice run by the Pioneers. They were down 7-5, but it's a 7-0 run here in the last few minutes of this contest. But chance for Mangus to end that down for the free throw line.
That one is good. Mangus, a 6'3" freshman, 190 pounds out of Warsaw, Indiana. Pretty special to be in a game like this in your freshman season. Not everybody gets that type of opportunity, but definitely making the most of it here right now.
Yeah, not just be on the floor at some point, but get significant minutes in the ball game here for the young freshman. Makes them both, and he'll check out.
A little subbing going on here as these two teams try to keep some fresh legs on the court. It will be Armstrong bringing it up, getting it into the right wing. I was talking a moment ago, they're going to try to get that guy involved. A little push from behind there, but the Pioneers want him involved as much as possible. Sheldon Blackwell is a very good defensive player. He's done some great things on offense as well. Great rebounder, averaging almost 8 rebounds a game, which is 42nd in the nation in Division II NAIA basketball.
Yeah, leads this team in scoring and rebounding on the season. As you said, defensive too. He's got almost double more steals than the next man on the team.
Yeah, as far as steals are concerned, Blackwell 22nd in the nation in steals per game this year, averaging just under 2 per contest. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes on him here, but Pioneers right now kind of riding that offensive wave more than anything else. Make no mistake about it, that's part of the reason why the Wildcats are struggling here today, is because they do provide such a strong defensive mindset on the court. That shot no good, tipped and kept alive. Wildcats hoping for something there. It's going to be a blocking foul. Driving in wildly that time for the Wildcats was Kanan Coffey, and he got the call. He'll go to the line for 2.
And they earned that trip to the line thanks to their team rebounding. Everybody found a man. Everybody boxed out, and eventually that ball got kicked around loose. Coffey was able to pick it up. Got rewarded with the call inside and a chance to chip into this lead again here for the Pioneers. Wildcats have done a good job converting for the free throw line. Like I said, they've been struggling to get anything to fall down. 3 of 9 from the field, but now sitting at 4 of 5 from the free throw line. So it's half their points here early on in this one. We're almost halfway through the first quarter, or first half.
Jacob Mast was the one who picked up the foul. It was his second. So now they've got both Mast on the bench and Nolan Webb on the bench, both with 2 fouls, and they're probably going to have to stay there for a while. 12.5 minutes left to go. Realistically, they may not come back in this game until about the 5-minute mark, and they can't really afford to have another one. Nolan Webb is such an important part of their offense. Armstrong's come in and provided a nice boost for them here since coming off the bench.
Yeah,
Hit a couple big threes.
Almost banked another one.
That shot left short and picked up by Ben Carlson. Wildcats will bring it up down by 1 here with 12 minutes left to go in this first half. Post player was open for a moment. They'll swing it back around the perimeter. 3 from the top of the key, and the big man, Evan Maxwell, knocks it down.
He's got a nice, consistent stroke, whether it was inside there with a little hook shot. We saw the nice wrist action. It was a pretty looking shot from about 7 feet out. It's out beyond the arc. It's the same looking release. Foul inside. Just the third here on the Wildcats early on. Pioneers already with 7 fouls, as we've talked about the foul trouble, JJ, that they've been in with a couple of their starters on the bench right now with 2. And still a lot of time left to go in this first half.
3 from the right wing is going to be left just short. Rebounded by Ben Carlson. Boy, this Indiana Wesleyan team provides a lot of size. This Pioneer squad actually matches up pretty well to them. Moskaitis is going to be a big factor. He's a 7-footer out there wearing number 30. Matches up well against Evan Maxwell, the 6'10 junior. They're going really head-to-head against each other from the high post right now. Armstrong will swing it into the left wing. Down to 12 on the shot clock here. Nice little crossover at the free throw line and a tough look, but knocking that one in was Sheldon Blackwell. We've been talking about him, the Rancho Cucamonga, California native and a Cal State Fullerton transfer. Knocking in his first bucket of the tournament.
Really the first time that we've seen him get aggressive and go after his shot. That's a great spin move inside by Maxwell Evan. He's putting on a clinic of offense here. He's gone middle of the paint with a hook shot. He's hit the 3. He faked middle that time, rolled baseline, and got the 2. So finding lots of ways to score his 9 points here to lead the way and give the Wildcats the lead back.
Baseline drive. That shot blocked from behind, but coming to the free throw line will be Marquise Reed. I believe that foul is going to be on Ben Carlson. We'll see here.
Yeah, he came in looking for the shot block. We talked about that's one of his main roles on this team, is being a guy inside to send balls back out of the paint.
Carlson picking up his first personal. That's just the 4th on the Wildcats, though. Should point out Pioneers are at 7 team fouls already, so their next foul will be a 1-and-1 situation for the Wildcats. That free throw left short. Looking at some of the numbers for the Pioneers this season, not the best free throw shooting team at just 67%. As far as he's concerned, Reed, 67% himself, hits 37 of 55 free throws heading into this tournament. It's not a great stat to have. You want to obviously be shooting your free throws well, and he gets 1 of 2 here. So not the worst case scenario. It does put his team in position here, but still down by 1. If he had made that front end, could be talking about a tie game here with about 10-15 left to play in the first half.
Free throw shooting always catches up with you in the end. You can get by, shooting poorly for a while. You can let other things lead the way, but sooner or later you're going to get in the game and it comes down to free throws. You need to have that in your bag of tricks.
Little drive here, and the shot kind of wild off the iron from Sheldon Blackwell. Both teams running up and down the floor here over these last 2 minutes. That 3 is going to be left short, and Blackwell, or check that, I should say, Reed going for the rebound. Pass into the front court, open shooter in the left corner. That shot's good. Knocking in the 3, Stephen Bush, 6'3" senior out of East Orange, New Jersey.
He struggled with his three-point shot a little bit this season, but you're a guy that's used to filling it up. He's a volume shooter from outside. You get him going early. It's exactly what the Pioneers need. Gives them back the lead, by the way, up 2 again.
3 from the left wing. That's going to be left short. Missing on the 3 was Johnson. He's not afraid to shoot the 3. Hit 31 of them during the regular season in 85 tries. That shot misses. Blackwell will go to the free throw line here after the foul.
I think With Nolan Webb going out with those 2 fouls and go to the bench, since that's happened here the last few minutes, Sheldon Blackwell hadn't been aggressive offensively. Since that point, we've seen him really kind of assert himself. He wants that basketball here for the Pioneers.
Kyle Mangus picks up his first personal foul, the 6'3" freshman. It's our media timeout with 9:14 left to go. We'll step aside for a moment, but be sure to enjoy all the views, sights, and sounds, and be sure to get your social media posts out there. Use your hashtag NAIAD2MBB. And get your post not only on our stream, but inside the on the big board here inside the building. We'll step aside for just a second. Back with more right after this. Well, some great vantage points as far as camera work is concerned from our crew here inside the Pentagon. That's my favorite shot right there, the bird's eye view of everything going on here in this beautiful Heritage Court. Our crew's been doing a fantastic job. Most of them didn't get a chance to leave until well after 1 a.m. early this morning after the overtime games and everything that went on, and they had to be here early this morning at 8:30. So tip of the cap to everybody working hard behind the scenes, and we're delighted that you're able to join us here as we bring you all the action from this NAIA Division II National Championships. Second free throw missed there from Blackwell. 19-16 now your score here. 3-point difference with 9 minutes and change left to go in this first half.
You know, one thing, though, about these games running late, the reason that is there's been so many good ball games here. Games coming down to the end, teams playing the foul game. We like to see that. Maybe it gets a little late, but it's been some good games here through a day and a half of this national tournament as a nice spin move inside.
Yeah, Jacob Johnson with the finish. He's a guy over 1,000 career points, 1,319 coming into today's play. He can definitely score from anywhere on the court. I like with his build, kind of that interior play, but as we mentioned, he can step out and shoot it. Speaking of shooting, nice shot there. Knocking it in was Terrence Blum. On this season, Blum, not really the main cog in the offense necessary, but he's been a key part here off and on throughout the year.
He's got a good-looking fadeaway that time, though. Guy coming off the bench, first shot. That was a tough one, falling away from about 17 feet.
Blackwell again is a great defender. He blocked that shot. Going up strong was Kyle Mangus, but couldn't get the finish. Mangus is one of the main offensive pieces for this Wildcat squad. Total scoring, he ranked 5th in the nation this year with 718 points.
Nolan Webb back out there again, playing with those 2 fouls, running this offense. Nice look down low.
Blackwell kicks it right back outside. Nolan Webb for 3, putting him out there with 2 personal fouls, but he's back in the action offensively. The trifecta there gives him his first points of the tournament.
That's maybe your 2 best players playing a nice little high-low game right there. Inside, back out as the double team came, and Nolan Webb got the open look for 3.
Nice pass inside the foul. They'll say the basket is good. Blum will get the foul. Terrence Blum, the 6'6" senior, picking up his first personal.
That was a great seal that time. A little bit late getting back around was Blum, but they ran a couple of baseline screens. That's a mismatch if they're going to get him around Maxwell.
Maxwell, by the way, 21st in the nation in field goal percentage entering this tournament at 58%. Also 39th in total scoring. 558 points on the year heading into this tournament. That shot's good. Hit the back end of the 3-point play. And it's a 24-21 Pioneer lead. Wildcats back within striking distance, but on defense right now as the Pioneers go back to work. Nolan Webb kind of slow playing his drive and just softly kisses it in. Nice shot there from Nolan Webb.
He's pleading his case. He thought he was going to get a foul on that too. He wanted the and one.
3 from the right wing is good, and both of these teams for how slow they started offensively and all the misses they had. Now starting to get the groove going on the offensive side. Indiana Wesleyan, they were 1 of 7 at one point in this game. Actually, excuse me, it was Antelope Valley that was 1 of 7. Both teams now shooting right around 40 to 45% from the field.
It's a great kick by Maxwell. The big man got the ball top of the key and made the drive. Able to set up his point guard for the shot. Then he gets a block on the defensive end here and can try to start a break for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it looked like Moskaitis wanted the foul as he went in, but off balance with his shot, wasn't going to get the call. And patience is a virtue for Kyle Mangus, who just kind of waited for 2 defenders to fly past him. He's got 2 more points on the day with 5 total here in the first half.
Yeah, he's just pump fake, there goes 1, pump fake, there goes 2. And he got an easy bucket out of that to tie this ball game up. It's been a great first half. There's Maxwell again. So a block, an assist, a steal here in like the last minute of the ball game.
Drive inside, almost lost his footing. Maxwell from the top of the key leaves that just short. Bodies go flying everywhere. They're going to say a foul, I believe, on Johnson. So it'll be a loose ball foul for the Wildcats. Seeing who the... No, they're going to actually put that on Grant Pribble, the 6'1 freshman out of Bluffton, Indiana. Both he and Johnson were in the area, but it's going to be Pribble who picks up his first.
Yeah, they both just got tangled up down there. And I was just going to say 6 foul on the Wildcats here. So that had been, this foul situation was 7-2 not that long ago, and now things starting to even out as the half wears down.
Yeah, that was the last foul the Wildcats were able to give. The next one will be a 1-and-1 bonus for the Pioneers, who also have 18 fouls of their own. So kind of bonus time here with about 5.5 minutes left to go in this first half. That one nearly is taken away. Moskaitis keeps it alive with 9 on the shot clock. Nolan Webb trying to create, stops, bounces it off Moskaitis' feet, and they're going to say, I believe it went out of bounds, last touched by the Wildcats, but it doesn't give them a whole lot of time on the shot clock with just 3 ticks remaining.
Yeah, kicked off, I think, Okafor's leg last year, but like you said, 3, so they're going to get this on the baseline, which makes it really kind of tough to work anything out to the top of the key where you can get a catch and shoot. They're going to have to look inside or something in the corner here quick.
Nolan Webb will be the trigger man. He lobs it up, getting it to Mast. The fadeaway is no good off the iron. He gets hit hard, falling to the hardwood. Both players getting helped up by their teammates. I believe that foul will be on Joel Okafor, the 5'11", 200-pound junior out of Nigeria.
Yeah, I think he got fouled twice by Okafor. He got fouled shooting, and then Okafor landed on him when he came down to the ground. I think the second one hurt a little bit more.
Yeah, it's never fun. Bodies flying everywhere. Sometimes you're just going to get that unfortunate contact as that free throw knocks in. Looking at the numbers on this season for the Pioneers as far as their free throws are going, we mentioned the 67% shooting. Mast, a very good shooter from the field, but he has struggled at the free throw line this season, shooting at just 58%, 46 of 79, but that is the second most free throw attempts of any player on this Pioneer squad this season. That one left short, no good. Pioneers gonna have to start knocking in those free throws a little bit more consistently. It's not bad right now, but obviously that's an area of improvement here as this tournament goes on.
They always catch up to you, JJ.
Yeah, just 3 of 5 from the free throw line right now, so not terrible. Just 2 misses so far from the stripe. 1 point lead right now for the Pioneers, and that's gonna change. Bucket's good for Grant Smith. Blackwell handing it off at the top of the key. Traveling violation will be called there. Hayden Hall, I think, wanted to shoot, wanted to pass at the same time, couldn't quite decide which one he wanted to do, and traveling called.
Good solid closeout by Coffey that time on the shooter. He was there to contest, made him change his mind at the last second, forces the turnover.
We are at our under 5 media timeout here with 4:41 left to go. 28-27, Indiana Wesleyan, the #1 seed in the Kramer bracket. We will take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look around the rest of this bracket. Now about half of the tournament decided heading into that Sweet 16 round. Back with more information on that right after this. Back inside the Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Again, be sure to use that NAIA D2 MBB hashtag. Let us know where you're watching from, whether it's from the classroom on campus or maybe in the dorm room back at home. We want to know wherever you are. Send us your pictures, send us your tweets, your Instagram posts, and we'll try to get them on the broadcast as the night goes on. That shot blocked. Recovered, though, and the Wildcats getting some second chance opportunities. Finally, Nolan Webb steals it away. Knocking on the door there, Indiana Wesleyan had a chance to grow the lead, just couldn't quite come up with the bucket they needed.
Well, it's been nice to see Nolan Webb back on the floor, be playing without fouls here for the Antelope Valley Pioneers. Offense has a little more rhythm when he's get in there because he can do this. He can shoot.
Boy, and can he shoot. That's another big three for Nolan Webb. Looking at the numbers on the day here. Nolan Webb now 2 of 3 from the field. Check that, 3 of 4 from the field, but 2 for 2 from three-point land. He's got 8 points on the day and 2 personals. That ball stripped out of the hands that time of Primble, but he does keep it alive. 3 from the left wing's gonna be left short. And Miles Nolan Webb comes up with the defensive rebound. Smooth little crossover, he's looking for some help. Blackwell now slowing things up with 18 on the shot clock.
How did he dribble through that traffic? That was a great handle.
Well, Nolan Webb got tripped up there, no call. He might have tripped on his own feet, and the right-handed layup no good. Boy, some of these easy bunny shots have not been quite as easy as it may look for the Wildcats, but the offensive board led to the bucket. And Kyle Mangus has been a special player this year, adding to his point totals here today. Mangus just 1 of 5, but does make that now 2 of 6 actually, with 7 points on the day. Mangus is an interesting player here, and with the timeout, we've got a chance to talk more about him. But when the regular season came to an end for this Indiana Wesleyan squad, he was named the Player of the Year, All-League First Team, and Freshman of the Year. Just an incredible season for Kyle Mangus, who continues to put on an impressive freshman year.
Well, he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. I mean, obviously, he can score, putting up over 20 points a game, but he rebounds it well enough for a guy his size at about 5 per game. He can pass the ball well. He's got a great assist to turnover ratio. I mean, he just gives you a little bit of everything. He can fill up the stat book, and when you can do that with the amount of points that he can put away for you, and his scoring is all over. I mean, he's shooting from 3. He can hit shots inside. He's getting to the free throw line. He's just one of those guys that does everything well for your team.
Yeah, he was the first freshman to earn Player of the Year in the Crossroads League since the inception of the honor in the 1989-90 season. That's unbelievable. That's going to get taken away by Johnson. He's trying to get it into the front court, and the right-handed layup is good for Grant Smith.
Smith needed something to go through the cylinder there, as his shot had been a little hard to come by here early on, but gets a nice bucket in transition.
Pioneers back on the attack here, down by 2, trying to answer. Blackwell, right wing 3 is good. Boy, does he ever answer. That's a big shot for Blackwell. He's got 6 points here in the first half, but more importantly, he gives his team back the 1-point lead.
Hard to remember how much Antelope Valley was struggling from beyond the arc in the first 8 minutes of this ball game. They're now 7 of 11 from downtown, and it's kept them here in this game and with the lead.
Maxwell's going to get called for the travel. He's the leading scorer in this game right now with 12 points. He needed that bucket to give the Wildcats the lead back, but happy feet underneath the hoop. Should point out that Miles Nolan Webb has gone to the bench for the Pioneers. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury bug, talking with the trainer right now. Might have gotten something twisted up, but hopefully he'll be back soon. Neither team able to come away with a bucket in their last possessions. Pioneers will have it here with 1:47 left to go in this first half. Get you some team numbers here in just a second.
Well, the good news for Antelope Valley is when Nolan Webb goes out, you've been able to bring Armstrong into the game. He played so well for them here when he went out with those 2 fouls early in this half.
Blackwell, as we mentioned, a very good defender, tipped that one out of bounds as they tried to get the pass inside to the streaking Kyle Mangus. And you got to find a way to stop a freshman who scored over 700 points Might want to put one of the best defensive players in the nation on him. That's been a great matchup here so far today. Minute 30 left to go. 3 from the left wing. That's going to be left a little long and rebounded by the Pioneers. They've got the 1-point edge. Antelope Valley 11 of 22 from the field in the first half, shooting 50%. More importantly, 7 of 11 from three-point land at almost 64%. Blackwell tangled up there, and they're going to call a foul. Blackwell kind of a sigh of relief there. I think he was about ready to lose the basketball, and then all of a sudden the contact came in.
Yeah, he got bailed out. He's out of control. You can see he was losing the basketball with his back to the bucket there. And Smith comes in and kind of gets a hard luck foul call. It's going to be his second, and it leads to a 1-and-1 here at the other end.
Blackwell led the team in free throw attempts this season with 171. He made 118 of those. A 69% free throw shooter. That's going to rim out on the 1-and-1. Both teams with 18 fouls, so we're not at the double bonus quite yet. Minute 5 left to go in this first half. Ball's in the right wing right now. And they're going to say it was taken away by Marquise Reed, but Marquise stepped on the baseline out of bounds here with 58 4/10 of a second left to go. Shot clock still on 16 seconds here. So no reset apparently after the steal.
Yeah, if he had stepped out of bounds as he was taking it away, no possession change there. That's what the official ruling is. So
Mangus will have it here as he gets it to Maxwell, top of the key. Maxwell, a little fade away from the free throw line. That's no good.
You'll take that shot from him all day. I know he's got a good stroke, but if you can keep him shooting beyond 15 feet, you're going to take that for the Pioneers.
3 on the way is going to be left short. A rare miss from 3 in the first half from the Pioneers. Boy, he can run the court quickly there. What an effort from Grant Smith. Took about 3 ticks off the clock to go coast to coast. Now the shot clock, about a 1.5 second difference between game clock and shot clock. So the shot clock's still on here.
You can see why Grant Smith, all 3 of his buckets have come in transition. He gets down that floor so fast.
Armstrong, who came back in the game for Nolan Webb after the injuries, trying to drive the floor here. He goes in. Boy, with Maxwell in his face, he finds a way to get that shot to fall. And a timeout called by the Wildcats as they tried to get down the court in a hurry. They want to set up what could be the final shot of the half here with 3.7 seconds left to go.
And they may have actually missed an opportunity because Grant Smith was going down the floor. He was streaking and they threw the lob up. He might have had a chance to get a little floater there at the end. I think he was going to have a good chance of getting that basketball.
Well, we haven't seen all of the 8 seeds as of yet. But from what we have seen here so far today, that Cornerstone versus Milligan matchup yesterday at 4 p.m., that was probably the widest margin in deficit in this tournament so far, 88-68. We did have the 84-66 final earlier on today between Southeast and Stillman. But this 1 versus 8 matchup, kind of like what we had yesterday with that Indiana East and Voorhees game. Voorhees had a little bit of a trouble at time, but they came back strong at the end of that game. Just couldn't quite get the victory that they were looking for, or the comeback, I guess you could say, that they were looking for. This matchup today, though, I'm not sure that Antelope Valley deserves that 8 seed recognition. They are playing much more like a 5, maybe a 4 seed at this tournament right now. The way they're shooting, the way they're playing defense, boy, they've matched up real well against this number 1 seed Indiana West so far here today.
Well, if you can hit 7 3-pointers in a half of basketball, you should be able to stay in the game. And when you've got a defensive player out there like you've got in Sheldon Blackwell, who can clean up a few mistakes.
Indiana Wesleyan will have a chance for the final shot. Grant, that one was a good look there from Grant Smith, just couldn't get it to go. But again, that shows you how fast he is. It took less than 3 seconds for him to go the length of the floor with the defender on him. What a first half, though. The number 8 seed, Antelope Valley, will take the 1-point lead into the locker room against Indiana Wesleyan, 35-34. We'll step aside for just a moment and be back with more right after this.
At Dakota State University in Madison, professors and students work diligently into the night to prepare themselves for what lies ahead. And because they won't rest, neither will Heartland, providing reliable energy to power the lights, servers, and minds of those who defend our information. Heartland Power, Madison's hometown power provider.
In 1897, a a champion young woman from Tableton, Georgia, founded Voorhees College, where for more than 120 years her legacy has built champions both in the classroom and on the court. And now, as we reimagine Voorhees through a different school of thought, that legacy grows even stronger through integrity, servanthood, tenacity, excellence, determination, and competence. Join us at Voorhees College, where we change minds and change lives.
For over 50 years, Rosebud Wood Products has been serving America's cabinetry needs. Family owned and operated, with employees who have been a part of the Rosebud family for decades. They're big enough to handle any job, yet small enough to make sure your project matters. Quality doesn't cost, it pays. So pay the Rosebud Factory and Showroom a visit today, or visit us online at rosebudwood.com.
Can you drive me to Jessica's house?
This is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but so's making the most of the house before they're out of the house. Spend your life living. Today's the day. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
When this place gets packed, it's special, and I think it's special because the support we get from the community and the school and the faculty members, it's just something that everyone in the Caldwell area likes to come out and support. If it wasn't for the 3 minors and studying through those, I don't think I would have ever changed my major into what I really want to do in the future. I really like the fact that, I can be walking to class and say hi to 10 to 15 different people just on my way to class, and it's just a great place to be.
When you're done with fads, when you're done with gimmicks and tricks and miracle cures, crash courses and rebound weight, when you're done with going it alone, when you're done with diets, there's Profile. Backed by one of the nation's largest health systems, Profile by Sanford is a personalized plan designed to improve the way you eat and live. When you're ready to get real results with Profile.
Imagine a college where you can find more than 50 student organizations and 65 majors and pre-professional programs, where professors know you by name and advisors encourage you to try new things. Imagine a college that's also a culture. Explore your many sides at Morningside College. Seeking variety? How about more than 65 majors, including 4 new majors in accounting, not-for-profit management, ag and food studies, and social and behavioral sciences, where you can pursue careers in law enforcement or social services. Explore your many sides at Morningside.
For over 130 years, Madison Regional Health System has been committed to quality health care close to home. Our knowledgeable medical staff believe in personalized, cost-effective health care for you and your growing family. We understand how precious life really is. Madison Regional Health System, committed to quality health care close to home.
Envision your future. What does your future look like? At St. Thomas University, we help you discover your strengths and fuel your passions with a cutting-edge education. STU offers innovative programs to thrive in future professions. At St. Thomas, you learn locally to succeed globally with generous scholarships. Here you'll find an exceptional private education at an affordable cost. No matter where you want to go in life, you can get there from here.
Back inside the Pentagon as we continue on with this first round matchup between the number 1 seed Indiana Wesleyan and the number 8 seed Antelope Valley out of California. We'll start with the Pioneers out of Antelope Valley, who have the 1-point lead right now. They were pretty solid from the floor in the first half there. They went 12 of 24 from the field at 50%. Their three-point shooting was solid. Struggled a little bit from the free throw line. Obviously, that's an area where they're continuing to try to improve as this day goes on. But if they can shoot like that in this second half, they're going to be hanging tough with the number 1 seed Indiana Wesleyan, who was just 39% from the field in the first half and 2 of 9 from 3. I don't think that'll continue in the second half, Matt.
No, I would look for that to get a little bit better for Indiana Wesleyan. For Antelope Valley, 7 made threes in the first half. They only average about 7 made threes per game this season, and their best three-point shooter in Hayden Hall, he hasn't hit anything. He's 0 of 3, hasn't scored. He's the second leading scorer on the team. He hasn't done anything. They can get him going here. They could have a really big opportunity in this second half, but it's a tight ball game. 1-point lead here as the Pioneers get the first possession of the second half.
Nice little spin move from Miles Nolan Webb, who had to leave the game once because of foul trouble, left again late in the first half because of a little bit of an injury issue, but he's back out there and continuing his hot scoring. Maxwell's been tough. He's got 14 points on the day now and is the game's leading scorer to this point.
Yeah, they need to keep feeding him. He has scored in a variety of different ways, from inside, from outside. That's really the first time we've seen him off the dribble turn to attack. So Wildcats need to keep feeding him the basketball. He needs to touch on almost every possession.
That one's loose, and it will make its way into press row. 19 minutes even left to go in this one.
Wildcats, not as much foul trouble as the Pioneers have seen here. Pioneers got a couple of their key players with 2 quick fouls early in this ball game. We mentioned Miles Nolan Webb, but also Jacob Mast had 2 fouls in that first half as they go inside again, but missing on the back iron is Evan Maxwell, one of his few misses inside in this ball game.
Miles Nolan Webb with the rock at the top of the key here. His squad up by 1. Again, the boys in red are the 8th seed in this tournament, right now leading the number 1 seed in their quadrant, the Indiana Wesleyan. That bucket there will extend the lead. Blackwell gives them a 3-point edge. Still just a 1-possession game, though. Obviously, a lot of time for this Indiana Wesleyan squad to get back in it. There it is, a tie. The 3 to tie the game from Kyle Mangus, the 6'3" freshman. Boy, he's been fun to watch here so far this afternoon now with 10 points.
Yeah, that puts him into double figures. And I thought he was having a real quiet first half of basketball. Then I looked down and, well, he's got 7 points, a couple of rebounds. Expect some more big things out of him if he starts picking up offensively. Again, a guy that went for 21 points per game this season.
Mangus caught in no man's land, kicks it outside, left wing 3, that's no good. And an offensive board for Johnson. Boy, they had an open shooter in the right wing there, they just didn't see it. Mangus will reset the offense. Okafor looking for some help, finds Mangus, he cuts inside the lane, throws up the desperation shot. 4 red jerseys around him, it was bound to be a foul once he got inside there.
Well, I think Coach had to tell Mangus, look, you've got to be aggressive. You're the guy. You know, you need to come out and be that player of the year, because here's a couple of possessions early in this second half, and he has gone right to the basket. He wants the basketball. He's looking to attack. He just didn't have that mindset. You know, even as great a player as he is, young kid coming in, national tournament, maybe had a little jitters, few butterflies there, but he has calmed himself down, and he's looking to get back to what he can do offensively, which is just go at the basket and look to score for this Wildcat team.
Hayden Hall picked up his first personal. Remains out there right now. Pioneers are in a little bit of foul trouble right now. Sitting out there with the Terrence Blum 3 personal fouls. Then you've also got Miles Nolan Webb with 2. You also had Jacob Mast, who has 2. These guys are just going to have to play careful defense. They are a very good defensive unit. On the offensive attack right now, though, Miles Nolan Webb goes up and had to battle amongst the trees there, but will go to the free throw line after drawing some contact.
Yeah, Ben Carson was backpedaling, or Carlson, I should say, was backpedaling that time, and Nolan Webb realized it, went right at him, got the foul call. You know, he tried that early. This is when he picked up his second foul. He thought he saw a defender backpedaling a little bit. He went down, lowered the shoulder, but he extended that arm a little bit. That got him the offensive foul. Here he played it more straight. Went at him, went up in the process of shooting as he drew that contact and gets rewarded with the trip to the free throw line.
Well, Antelope Valley came to this NAIA National Championship and for the first time in program history after defeating the University of California Merced, the Bobcats. It was a 1-point win back in late February. They had to kind of battle back in that game. Really a tale of two halves in that one. Pioneers were leading by as many as 10 points in 3 different occasions, but allowed their opponent to get back in it. This is a team, though, that can battle, can play in close games, and when you're an 8 seed that has that type of repertoire and that type of reputation to stay in these type of close matchups, you're going to have maybe teams reeling a little bit. And while they're down by 3 right now, you don't see that urgency or that desperation. They're still going about and playing their game and kind of riding the wave right now of Miles Nolan Webb, who just continues to put up points. He's got 14 to lead his team here today.
Yeah, having some older guys, some veteran guys, just not overly afraid of this stage. Ooh, tough blocking call that time. And there again, who was it? It was Kyle Magnus. He just hit the 3 earlier. He was sitting there at 7 points at halftime. He's up to 15 now and just draws another foul. And that's going to be the 3rd one now picked up by Jacob Matt. So that's now 2 starters with 3 fouls on the floor here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and we talked about the fouls becoming an issue. The 2 players who really couldn't afford another one were Mast and Nolan Webb, who each had 2. They're going to leave him out there for the moment with those 3 personals. They did, however, take out Terrence Blum, who also has 3, just to give him a little breather on the bench.
Another foul, and that's just an unneeded one. And look who it is. That's Mast, so that's 4. And now he's going to the bench for a while. There's no reason to try to reach in and contest that. That's just passing out to the top of the key. If you're not in the lane in a position to do anything, you've got to have your head a little more in the game and be aware of what your situation is with 3 fouls. Now he's on the bench with 4, and we're not going to see him for a while.
There's a shot from Mangus. And yeah, just to add to the point, the 3rd foul for Mast was that blocking foul, and he was frustrated and showed his frustrations. I think at that point the coaching staff needed to get him off the floor just to avoid that quick 4th, and you could almost sense that it was coming, and boy did it come quickly right after that 3rd foul. On the drive again here, back to work is Hayden Hall, and he gets the layup. Boy, just fearless. This Pioneer squad has been fearless today, hanging tough in this one right now, down by a point. Beauty of a pass inside to get it back to Ben Carlson.
Yeah, he was being fronted by Marquise Reed, and he just does not have the size, the length to stay with him. They get a good lob pass over the top and able to put it in.
Carlson has had a quiet day here today. He's got just 2 points. The answer on the other end, though. Blackwell, another bucket, keeps this game within 1. Indiana Wesleyan with the basketball and the lead here at the moment. The freshman of the year in his conference, Mangus on the attack. Got tangled up there, no foul. Carlson with the rebound, kicks it inside to Mangus. His shot's no good, but did get fouled and will go to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, it was a nice offensive rebound, and I'm not sure how he was able to find Mangus down there. He was bent over in the paint, just kind of flipped it underhand, and Mangus going to get a chance for a couple more points here. You can see why he has been such an offensive weapon, how he's able to put up as many points per game as he does, because it just doesn't even, it seems like, well, yeah, we've called his name a few times here in the second half. He's up to 18 points in this one now. We got 15 minutes plus yet to go in this second half.
Miles Nolan Webb picked up his 3rd personal foul, and he's going to stay in the game for the moment. Armstrong sitting on the bench, and they might need to get him going here soon. And the fouls have been mounting today, but Miles Nolan Webb is such a huge part of this offense. As long as he can stay in control, like we were talking about a moment ago, they should be okay. But again, they're kind of walking a dangerous line here right now with him out there with those 3. He's got it at the top of the key, handing it off. Hall down low. And what a beauty of a shot there from Davidas Moskidis. The Lithuanian had to go up and with some contact got the bucket off the glass. Still a 1-point game with his squad trailing. Carlson left wide open all by himself on the right post, and that looked too easy for the Wildcats.
Yeah, nice look down there, realizing somebody got lost. Pioneers not matching up on the defensive end after that made bucket. That was an easy look for the Wildcats.
Antelope Valley with the basketball. 52-49, they trail. Three from the left wing. That's an NBA range three, and that's good. Marquise Rivera, the 6'7" senior out of New Britain, Connecticut, knocks in his first bucket of the tournament, and that's a big one to tie it at 52.
They needed another one of those to go down because, yeah, the Wildcats are going to keep doing this. They're going to go inside. It's Evan Maxwell again with another two down low as he continues to kill him inside.
Maxwell with 16 points on the day. Boy, the shooting percentages have skyrocketed for the Wildcats here in the second half after their poor shooting performance in the first half. This has turned into kind of an offensive back and forth affair now. Defense been a little frustrating at times. Carlson got caught underneath, and that was a bad matchup there. Marquise Rivera did his best to try to size up against Carlson, but picks up his first personal foul. Media timeout on the floor with 13:49 left to go in this second half. It's a 2-point game. Wildcats with the lead. We're back with more Inside the Pentagon right after this. $13:49 left to go in this second half. It's been a wild one here in our 1 versus 8 matchup. Indiana Wesleyan, the 1 seed, has the 2-point lead right now over Antelope Valley. I'm JJ Hardigan. He's Matt Gross. It's been a fun one here so far in our noon matchup as Maxwell tries the three and the big man knocks it down. A 6'10", 250-pound junior just hit the long-range three from the right wing, and that gives Indiana Wesleyan their second largest lead of the day, 57-52 here, with 13:40 left to go in regulation.
Yeah, he didn't shoot a ton of threes during the regular season, but when he did, he was effective. A 47% three-point shooter. He's knocked down a couple of them here in this ball game as he continues to pour in the points offensively. And for the Pioneers, with the foul trouble they've been in, they've got to just find a way to keep up here because the Wildcats can score in so many different ways. For the Pioneers, it's the only really way they've been able to stay in the game has been the three-point shooting. They've been really good at it here through this game, but they need some more of it quick.
Turnover here in transition basketball was what he does best. Grant Smith going coast to coast on that one. Got tangled up as he went in for the layup and will go to the line now for two. But boy, he can run the court faster than just about anybody I've seen at this tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's never not beating somebody down the floor, and every time he gets side by side with someone, he just has that little extra he can turn on to gain some separation.
57-52 your score, 5-point game right now. Just a 2-possession contest. That ball nearly stolen. Blackwell tried to force his way around the screen and is going to pick up the personal. That's his second, I believe.
Yeah, 2 on him, but 7 on the team. So now they're sending him to the line here for a 1-and-1. And these last 13 minutes and 12 seconds of the half are going to be bonus time for Indiana Wesleyan. They're already up 57-52. And they've been effective here from the free throw line, and their best scorer going to try to keep it going here in Mangus.
Yeah, Mangus now has 20 points. Need to correct that. That was Blackwell's first. Got one of the fouls mixed up on my chicken scratch work here. 3 fouls on the floor for Miles Nolan Webb, and now a jump ball. He kind of dove out of the way with Carlson coming in towards the basketball. Miles Nolan Webb kind of with his facial expression right now saying, dang, I had that basketball, but he got out of the way to avoid his 4th personal. And Instead, they're going to tag a jump ball here with the possession arrow favoring Indiana Wesleyan. So now a 6-point game here with 13:10 left to go in this second half. And you can see this number 1 seed, the Wildcats, starting to get that flow and rhythm offensively, and they're kind of taking control of this game in the meantime.
Well, if they start getting offensive rebounds here, Pioneers have done a good job of not allowing that through this game. But if the Wildcats start getting off the offensive glass, getting second, third opportunities of the way they've been scoring inside, look at this ball movement and an easy 2 with the right hand for Carlson.
Carlson now has 6 points on the day. Blackwell kicks it outside. They need an answer. Miles Nolan Webb wanted it. They go back to Blackwell. He goes up hard, and that's, I believe, going to be, well, you could have argued that that was goaltending. Maxwell had his hand inside the rim to block that shot, but they're going to say a foul, and it will send Blackwell to the line for 2.
I think that's what the bench is saying, too. Hey, we want the foul and the goaltending there. Give us the and 1.
See, well, I guess his hand never actually touched the basketball. Just a great shot from our crew here inside the Pentagon. From our angle, though, it did look like he made contact with it, but Maxwell definitely stuck his hand inside the honeypot that time.
Well, and here's where the Pioneers need their free throws to go down, and here's where they need Sheldon Blackwell to try and take over this game a little bit. He's got the athleticism to do it. He's sitting on 11 points. He's kind of a Mr. Everything for this team, defensively and offensively, and he needs to go back to where he was when Nolan Webb went down with those first 2 fouls or when he was down with the injury. He really was assertive offensively, wanted the ball, was looking to attack, and he needs to get back to that here in a hurry for the Pioneers.
Antelope Valley at their season average for free throw percentage today, right at about 67%, 8 of 12 from the stripe. Boy, that's a tough shot there. Trevor Waite, though, the 6'1 junior out of Lisden, Indiana, knocks in the trifecta.
Big bench points, his first here of the ball game. And they were getting close to that double-digit lead here for the Pioneers, or Wildcats, I should say.
On the drive again, Grant Smith trying to figure out a way to go coast to coast, and he does. The shot doesn't foul, but he will go to the line for 2. You can tell that's his specialty. When they get out and run the floor, they want the ball in his hands. He creates contact inside the lane. He's quite the improvisational basketball player, can go up there and in midair even redirect and find ways to get the ball near the rim.
Yeah, and it's not just straight line speed with him either. He didn't beat everybody down the floor. The Pioneers actually got back on defense. He got just inside the arc, slammed to the brakes, and then just turned on the Jets again for those last 10 feet, got to the basket, and then like you said, from there it was just create some contact and find a way to get that basketball up towards the rim, get his 2 shots from the foul line.
It's crazy how
11-point lead now.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly a game can turn around. It was a 3-point game less than 2 minutes ago. Now, as you mentioned, a double-digit deficit. Number 1, Indiana Wesleyan taking control of this game against Antelope Valley. It'll be a full timeout. No, just a 30-second timeout, excuse me, as you get some highlights here from this one. Miles Nolan Webb's kind of gone quiet on the offensive side, but he's made some big ones. Maxwell continues to play well, but yeah, you can see these 2 teams really duking it out on the floor right now. Mangus with the big 3 that kind of turned the tide here in this second half.
Yeah, him coming alive is really what you just said, turned the tide. 7 points in that first half. And, I'm willing to bet the coaches had a couple of words for him to be like, hey, you've been not really aggressive here. You can tell that's his game. Get the basketball, look to score. He's scored inside and outside, and has really just kind of, along with Smith, the tempo of the game, I think, has picked up a little bit, and it's been to the Wildcats' liking. Their big guys run the floor pretty well. They can get down there. They've cleaned up a couple of misses in fast break opportunities. So I think Mangus asserting himself a little bit more here has helped lead to this run that's built up an 11-point lead for the Wildcats.
11:57 left to go here. They did take the 30-second timeout and turn it into a full media timeout. We're sticking with it, though, here inside the Pentagon.
I'm starting to see maybe a few more people trickle in. The next couple of games coming here could fill the house a little bit. There's some teams from around the area. Morningside out of Iowa, not too far away here from Sioux Falls, going to be in the next game taking on Trinity International. And then we got Dakota Wesleyan from just down the road in Mitchell, South Dakota, in the game after that. So the Pentagon's likely to start getting packed here in the next couple of hours.
This is a big offensive series for the Pioneers as Blackwell drove baseline, and a blocking foul will be called. That is just the 4th team foul on the Wildcats. got that one on Trevor Waite, who picks up his third personal foul. 3 points, 3 fouls in this game for Waite. Well, turn around inside, that's no good. Again, the Pioneers needed something on that possession. Waite comes away with it for the Wildcats, and they'll slow it up here now. Wesleyan kind of taking control of this game over the last 3-4 minutes. Now as Mangus steps back. One of the main reasons why Mangus was held in check in that first half was because Blackwell was guarding him off and on. He hasn't really been following him all that much in the second half, kind of staying inside the interior of trying to handle some of those post players. And you got to wonder if maybe that's been a factor here today.
Well, I think, yeah, Terrence Blum out with those 4 fouls. I think that was absolutely a big key in this game, because you're exactly right. That made Blackwell, because he's a guy with some length to him, just a good defender. Somebody else needs to go down and deal with these big guys, so they put him down there for the Pioneers. That's left Nolan Webb, who's got the speed to kind of stay with him, but he's given up a good amount of size here to a very good scorer. That's not Nolan Webb's ideal matchup here, so that's been a problem for the Pioneers in the second half.
Miles Nolan Webb driving, his floater is good.
But boy, he's been good offensively.
Yeah. Unbelievable with 16 points here today. He leads his team in scoring, one of 2 players on the floor right now for the Pioneers in double figures. Under 11 minutes left to go here in this second half. And another foul is going to be called. They've been coming fast and furious for the Pioneers. That's going to be their 10th team foul. That means the day is done now for Jacob Mast. He just picked up his 5th.
Yeah, I mean, he and Blum being in foul trouble have been real keys to this game. They were able to stay out there a little bit in that first half, and it helped the Pioneers stay in it. Their offensive players were able to do their thing with their defensive players, keeping the Wildcats in control. But with the foul trouble they've had here in the second half, Wildcats offense has just turned on the Jets, and the Pioneers have not been able to keep up.
Looking at some of the numbers here as far as career numbers are concerned, as active players for this Wildcat squad, Jacob Johnson the most points of any of them. Was unable to get the free throw there, and we're going to have a foul on Wesleyan here.
Meanwhile, Kyle Mangus has been around 1 season, and he's second on the team in all-time scoring.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. This is no doubt a great program at Indiana Wesleyan.
He sticks around with the Wildcats all 4 years. He's going to break some program records.
Wouldn't be surprised if he breaks some all-time records, not only for them, but for their conference as well. The way things have been going so far, obviously, maybe looking ahead is a little premature, but boy, he is a special player. Things are just kind of unraveling here at the moment for the Pioneers. They've had some trouble getting points on the board here as of late, but even so, within 10 points with 10 minutes to go.
Well, I think the Pioneers, too, maybe not quite as deep of a team as the Wildcats. So the Wildcats maybe would have been able to withstand having a few of their starters in foul trouble here, but the Pioneers just have not been able to withstand that foul trouble that they found themselves in.
66-56 your score. 10-point lead right now as Grant Smith gets it into the left wing. 3 on the way, and that's going to be left short. Nobody to rebound that one, though, and Grant Smith collects it. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. What a pass inside. Maxwell rattles it home.
Beautiful look, little over-the-shoulder pass, and then Maxwell was underneath the basket. That wasn't an easy bucket for him either with the reverse lay-in that time.
21 points on the day for Maxwell. He's far and away the leading scorer on the floor right now. In fact, the only player for the Wildcats in double figures on the floor at the moment. Nice bounce pass. Moskaitis just couldn't handle it. It was there.
Yeah, it was a tough pass. There wasn't a great lane to it. He was there. He was open. The pass just a little off the mark. And that whole possession, actually, they had a shooter over in the wing earlier they could have got to, and the pass was a little bit off rhythm. You can't make those kind of mistakes when you're struggling offensively against a team that's this good defensively with Wesleyan.
9:40 left to go as we reach our media timeout here. It's a 12-point game right now. Indiana Wesleyan with the edge. We'll step aside and be back with more inside the Pentagon right after this. Stay tuned. 9:35 left to go. Johnson pushing the tempo into the front court, and Maxwell stuffs it home. Again, they just run the court well. They've got great court vision, and even their big men know how to handle the rock up and down the floor. I know we've kind of mentioned that with Johnson a couple times tonight, but he's essentially got guard skill sets for a guy who could be a center or at least a power forward on most teams here in this tournament.
Yeah, his athleticism with his size, that's just a rare gift. You can see how they were able to get a #1 seed with a player like him. And he's able to do all sorts of things because he doesn't have to be the only cog offensively because you've got Mangus. You've got a guy like Smith who can run the floor and get other buckets. He can put some energy on defense. He can put some energy into being a facilitator from outside when he drives inside. We've seen him pass the ball well.
Both teams are still shooting over 50% from the field. Maxwell with the turnaround and the hook shot there gives him 25 points on the day. The guy in Maxwell who during the season averaged just about 16, 17 points per contest. He's well over his average here today.
He's only missed, 5 shots altogether.
Nice shot there, and it's kind of make or break time for the Pioneers here as they get back to work defensively. They've got to come up with a stop and find a way to get some control going on the offensive side. There it is right there. Stopping Maxwell is priority one. This is a guy that I've been waiting to see back on the floor for a while. Alexander got in and made a couple big threes for his squad when foul trouble became an issue in the first half. He didn't come in until about the 9-minute mark here in this second half, and they're really going to need him down the stretch.
Well, I wonder with the size just at every position the Wildcats have that they didn't want to have him and Nolan Webb out there at the same time. I think those two guys, a couple of point guards, each of them could shoot, would have been a fun dynamic out there for the Pioneers. But with so much size, you're already a little undermanned, struggling to rebound the basketball. I don't know if they could afford to have those two smaller guards out there at the same time.
72-58 your score. Trying to find a way to get points on the board, though, and when the guy is hot like that, I get your point definitely, but you want to go with a hot hand or somebody who's going to be able to shoot those shots, and obviously with Nolan Webb out right now, Alexander can step in and kind of just seamlessly fill that role, and I think you're right, they can't quite have both guys out there, but you've got a nice 1-2 punch when you've got Alexander coming off your bench.
Although it would have been fun to see him say, hey, let's just try to speed this thing up a little bit. Let's go small against the big guys, try to run them off the floor.
That shot no good. Carlson had the rebound for the Wildcats and just muscled that one away on a near jump ball. Free throws have continued to be a little bit of an issue here today for the Pioneers, and nice little spin move inside the lane, drawing the foul for Joel Okafor, who will go to the free throw line.
He's a fun player. I mean, look at that. He had nothing there. He just made something out of nothing inside. Strong guy, quick guy.
Rivera picked up his second personal. Coming up after this game wraps up, we will have Morningside out of Iowa with a 26-6 record. They're the 2 seed in the Kramer bracket, taking on Trinity International, a 21-10 program. That will actually finish out that quadrant. Then we'll have 3 of the 4 quadrants all wrapped up. The doer portion of the bracket, the northeast portion, I guess you could say, is coming up later on tonight.
The 2-7 games have been really good here in this tournament. Of course, I mean, almost all the games have been good here. Oh, what a 3.
Yeah, that's a huge one. Hayden Hall knocks it in, the 6'7 junior. You're right, the 2 versus 7 seeds in this tournament have been fantastic. It was a 10-point finish last night between St. Francis and Kaiser. And yesterday morning in that 2 versus 7 matchup, St. Thomas had the overtime thriller against Michigan Dearborn and ended up winning by 2. But again, as mentioned, all the higher seeds have been winning in this tournament to this point. We haven't had an upset yet. Alexander gets it into the front court. Blackwell goes in for the left-handed layup. Again, it's Alexander kind of creating that energy out on the floor for the Pioneers. They're bringing a full court press, and the Wildcats want a timeout to talk things over. Head coach Darwin Cook's fired up, and he sees that this might be the last real chance his team has to get back in this game. The boys in red right now trying to figure it out, down by 8. We'll step aside for a quick moment, be back with more Inside the Pentagon. This is the NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. Back on the floor, both teams getting ready for these final 7 minutes of action. Indiana Wesleyan will have the basketball here. They're 26 of 51 from the field in this game at 51%. Their three-point percentages are steadily improving. They're at 40% on the day, 6 of 15. Maxwell just continues to dominate this game down low, though. The former Kansas Jayhawk now with 27 points on the day.
Yeah, they just do not have an answer for him on the defensive side. I mean, he is so smooth and has put on just a real show here this afternoon in his bag of tricks, inside and outside scoring.
The talent that's been on this floor here inside the Pentagon over the last 48 hours is impressive. That shot, a big one, keeps it an 8-point game here right now for the Pioneers. They're trying to get some full court pressure going. Darwin Cook encouraging his team defensively. Okafor kicks it outside. Three's gonna be left short, and that's a big defensive rebound. Maxwell was positioned well inside, but they just cut him off and blocked him out.
And Blum back in after setting him with foul trouble early. He's gonna be well rested here for these final 6 minutes.
Hayden Hall at the top of the key, handing it off to Blackwell. Alexander, right wing three, is going to be left short. The offensive board picked up, and I think they're going to say a timeout. Good decision there by Darwin Cook. He has 3 timeouts left. You might as well use one here just to ensure that that ball doesn't get turned over. You need this possession. You need this bucket if you're the Pioneers to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, it was, I think, Hayden Hall here doing a great job. Might get away with a little bit of a push on that offensive rebound. You see the moves inside, the buckets inside that this Indiana Wesleyan team has been able to get. Their ball movement in the paint, very unselfish play, looking for the open players. And the scoring there inside by Evan Maxwell has just been so efficient. 12 of 17 in this game. That includes 2 of 3 from downtown for his 27 points. He's got 5 boards and 3 assists for the Wildcats here in this ball game. Big reason they're up 74-66.
5:42 left to go in this one, and 29 on the shot clock, so they don't need to rush this shot here. They can slow play it if they want to. Well, they're not going to. That 3 was well off the mark, and not a great look there from Hayden Hall. Tried to work around a screen, and it was a light screen at that. Got to have good possessions this late in this basketball game.
Yeah, they earned themselves another crack at it there, but you can't be leaving points on the board at this point. You're right, only 5 minutes and change to go.
Mangus with kind of a desperation play there, threw it back out. Now the 3 from the left corner, that's kissed off the glass. The lost art of the bank shot. We'll count it for 3 in Sioux Falls. Marquise Rivera knocks it in. He's had a quiet day offensively, but 8 points now overall. More importantly, he's brought his team back within 5.
Think he meant to do that?
I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to argue with the gentleman.
Oh, another steal, too, for the Pioneers. 2-1.
Rivera's going to go all the way in himself. That shot off the mark. He was hoping for the foul, but Okafor did a good job getting his feet planted. Mangus passes it back to Okafor, and he had his shot blocked underneath, and will go to the line for 2. Rivera sitting at the right wing here was kind of wondering what could have been there on that quick drive on the coast-to-coast move. Just couldn't get the shot to go, and boy, that would have made it a 3-point game. Instead, now Indiana Wesleyan can extend this back to a 3-possession contest.
Yeah, you're right. He thought there was going to be some more contact coming. And not only do you not get the foul, but you don't feel that contact, and what happens? You put it too strong off the iron and leaves a couple of points out there here in a tight game.
We're going to step aside. We've got a media timeout on the floor here at Heritage Court. We're going to let you take a look at what's been going on social media. Use that hashtag NAIA D2MBB. You can join in on the broadcast. We're back with more right after this. 74-69 your score. It'll be Okafor at the free throw line, and looking at his numbers this season from the stripe, Okafor, 72% free throw shooter. This one is gonna rattle but fall in. Every point matters here as this game progresses on.
Yeah, Pioneers did a great job to claw back in here. It looked like, you know, it was up into a double-digit lead, and we thought, well, maybe this is all we wrote. Pioneers just aren't going to have enough firepower to stay with it, but they got some steals. Their defense has kind of led to some offense. They've hit some shots from outside, and got a little bit of momentum back here in this game.
Don't need to necessarily rush this possession, but you got to come away with points. Got to find the right shot, and you got to take quality shots here. As Blackwell goes in, that one floated off the left side of the iron. Decent look, just couldn't get it to go.
I think that's the guy you want with the ball in his hands, though, here in these late minutes of this ball game.
Okafor right now finding Grant Smith right wing. He's on the attack. That shot, no. Rebounded by Rivera. Under 4 minutes left to go here in this contest. Boy, dangerous pass into the corner there, but they'll keep the possession going.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Nolan Webb didn't take that elbow jump shot.
Nice drive inside. That one's no good. Blackwell trying to do maybe a little too much there. I don't think he realized he had his teammate right behind him. Terrence Blum was ready for the rebound and almost kind of blocked himself there out of bounds with 3:40 left to go.
Blackwell's a really gifted athlete, and you can see why he's been effective doing so many things. Defensively, he's spectacular out there. The offensive game, though, you can tell is just a little unrefined.
Carlson somehow dribbled away from the double team, now kicks it to Maxwell. 15 on the shot clock here for the Wildcats, and they're in no hurry, up 76-69. 7-point lead here right now. This could make it a double-digit contest as Maxwell goes in. His shot no good. Got his own rebound, though, and will go to the free throw line. Got fouled by Blum.
Yeah, he reached right over the top of Blum to tip that ball back to himself. Did a good job of tipping it back without fouling. Got the ball again. The big man who has been so tough here in this game. 27 points to lead the way for Indiana Wesleyan. A chance for some more here from the free throw line. Just his second trip. He's 1-1 coming in.
Blum, his fourth personal. Miles Nolan Webb's out there with 3. You've also got Hayden Hall out there with 3 right now for the Pioneers. For the Wildcats, on the other hand, they're in a little foul trouble as well. Ben Carlson's got 3 personals. You've got Joel Okafor out there with 3 personals. And Grant Smith has 3 as well. So we'll have to keep our eye on all those individuals. Blackwell up to the top of the key to Rivera. That shot might have been partially blocked by Carlson.
Yeah, I think he got a piece of that one. That good recognition, though, that the shot was blocked by Okafor to pick it up on the baseline before it went out of bounds.
2:45 and ticking here as the Wildcats go back to work. Mangus has come kind of quiet here over these last 5 minutes or so offensively. Maxwell double team. They're trying to get the basketball out of his hands. Carlson left wide open, though. When you double team the big man, somebody else is going to be open, and Carlson's been that recipient several times today.
Well, the Wildcats have been so good moving the ball. Their ball movement has led to 20 assists on 28 made baskets in this game.
Foul here will stop the clock, and that's best case scenario for the Pioneers right now. Time is not their friend, down by 11.
Need to put them through. 9 of 14 from the free throw line. And need these points right here. They had their opportunity a couple of minutes ago. That missed layup just kind of looming large here. Hadn't really had a chance to turn the game.
Blum hits his first.
Since then, it's been a big run by the Wildcats to build the double-digit lead back up here. But if you can make a free throw, you're only down 9, 2:18 to go, still time. But you got to get some stops. You got to keep that ball on the perimeter, not let the Wildcats work it inside. Good free throw shooting there by Terrence Blum. Going to keep the Pioneers alive here in this ball game.
Pioneers need a stop on this possession. Realistically, they'll get the basketball back with less than 2 minutes at this point. Doesn't give them a whole lot of room to work with, down by 9. Mangus has it left wing. Down low, Maxwell left post. His turnaround, boy, so strong with that right hand. He had 2 bodies in front of him, and he made it look easy.
So tall, so long, and like I've been saying all game, there's just no answer for that if you're the Pioneers. Short of double teaming, triple teaming him, forcing the ball out of his hands, there's just nothing they can do to stop him.
That's taken away by Grant Smith. This is what he does best, and he'll go in for the slam.
Yeah, nobody was going to beat him down the floor. He gets a breakaway, and he's beaten everybody in a red uniform to the other end.
Minute 25 left to go here as Miles Nolan Webb gets it to Rivera. They've got to take a shot here soon. Running out of time with a minute 19 left to go. That's no good, and that might be the dagger as Okafor gets the rebound. Blackwell tried to steal it away. The lob to Grant Smith off the mark just a little bit. Blackwell's going to run. 3-on-2 fast break for the Pioneers, and Blackwell scoops it. He needed that shot to fall. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, good attack on the basket there, but you're right. Free throws, you needed the three-point play right there. Wildcats have just had a little bit too much firepower in this game for the Pioneers to keep up with. They've done a great job considering the foul trouble that they got themselves into early in this game, staying with it. A good team. You can certainly see how they got into this tournament. But the Wildcats just a little bit too much down the stretch. This was a great game, anybody's game coming out of halftime. The Wildcats made the early big run, and it's been just kind of playing from behind this entire second half for the Pioneers.
That shot rims out, no good. 84-72 your score with under a minute left to go now. Indiana Wesleyan, the number 1 seed, trailed by a point at halftime. Boy, did they turn on the afterburners here in the second half, though. Found a way to kind of take control offensively. It was a poor shooting first half for Indiana Wesleyan. At the break, they were shooting less than 40% from the field and under 25% from three-point land. And now, as this game nears its finish, they're shooting 51% as Maxwell knocks that in. That'll help the percentages go up a little bit. Maxwell with 33 points on the day. But for Indiana Wesleyan, 52% shooting from the field, up to 38% from three-point land. They definitely righted the ship here in this second half.
They have. Boy, I really like Miles Nolan Webb. He is a fun player to watch here for Antelope Valley. He's going to be up to 18 points now. He's been incredibly efficient, just a couple of missed shots for a little guy. He's rebounded the ball well. He can force steals. Great handle on it as he gets to the lane. Misses on the free throw badly, but a loose ball foul the Pioneers here. It's just not going to be enough in the end here for Antelope Valley to get the win.
Yeah, Blackwell has 16 points today. Nolan Webb has 18 points on the day. 2 players in double figures. It's unbelievable to me that there's only 2 players. Well, actually, check that. 3 players in double figures today. I would double check the math here. Maxwell with 31 points for Indiana Wesleyan. Also got 20 points for Mangus, and he continues to add to that with the free throw. Grant Smith also is in double figures with 10 points on the day, but just a well-balanced offensive attack from this Indiana Wesleyan squad who will pick up their 27th win of the season.
Yeah, when you have a kid like Mangus who can score in a lot of different ways, and then Evan Maxwell, who is just capable of flat-out dominating the game, and that's what he did here today. Mangus has played a great second half. 13 points in the second half, but Evan Maxwell has just dominated the ball game here.
Head coach Greg Tenagle, the head coach for Indiana Wesleyan, is looking pretty confident over on the sidelines right now, giving high fives to his players as they head off the floor with some reserves checking in now. The final 35 seconds, about a 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock, so they can't quite turn that off yet. Wildcats will handle what will probably be their final possession of this basketball game. Three from the left wing on the way as the shot clock expires. No good. And a foul here. We'll see who this is on. It'll be on Indiana Wesleyan as we go to the other end of the floor.
Caught Coffee that time, and a little reach in with 9 seconds left here. We're getting a few other guys to come on the floor and experience some game time here in this national tournament.
By day's end here today, we will know who our Sweet 16 teams are going to be. This tournament of 32 will be cut in half. It's taken 2 days to do that. I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up here. Indiana Wesleyan will advance in my bracket. They will get set Friday at 4 p.m. to take on Indiana University Southeast. So a couple Indiana schools will be duking it out for the chance to go to the Elite Eight quarterfinal matchup on March 10th. Again, that'll be Friday at 4 p.m. Warner Pacific is also advanced in this quadrant of our bracket. They're waiting to see who they will play. The winner of our next matchup, Morningside and Trinity International, will face Warner Pacific, but Indiana Wesleyan comes away with the victory here today. 87-76 the final score.